Case Western Reserve University and the members of the University Athletic Association are committed to principles of good sportsmanship. We believe that all student athletes, coaches, and spectators should strive to represent the very best spirit and tradition of intercollegiate athletics. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, sexist, ethnic, homophobic, or racial comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages and the use of artificial noisemakers are prohibited.
And good afternoon and welcome inside Nobby's Ballpark on a sunny Wednesday here in Cleveland, Ohio, as a local battle between two teams in the Cleveland vicinity here, with Case Western Reserve University, obviously located right in the city, and then Oberlin College just to the west of the city out in, I believe, Lorain County in Oberlin, Ohio, and they'll get set to face off here in just a few minutes. Welcome once again, everybody. I'm John Schwartz, bringing you play-by-play coverage of today's game between the Spartans and the Yeomen as we get set to get going here in just a few minutes. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get you the starting lineups for the two teams, beginning with the Oberlin College Yeomen batting order, as Oberlin comes in with a 3-2-1 overall record and on a 3-game winning streak. It'll be the center fielder, Patrick Leonard, leading things off. Then Brady Groves, the right fielder, bats second. Kyle Baxt, who's been the best hitter in this lineup, he'll be in the 3 spot and playing first base. And then Sam Lebrecht, the third baseman, hitting cleanup. Batting fifth is Daniel Devalopon, the left fielder. He's in the 5 spot. Daniel Craybill, the designated hitter, bats 6th. Then Anton Shelton catching and batting 7th. Ryan Robinson, the second baseman, will bat 8th. And Yu-Fu Chen rounding out the lineup. The shortstop will hit 9th. Werner Gearhart is the left-handed pitcher on the mound today for Oberlin. We'll tell you more about him when he takes the hill in the bottom of the frame. In the meantime, for Case Western Reserve University, who comes into the game with a 4-2 record, first baseman today will be Tucker Greer, the first year. At second base will be Calvin Gelly. At shortstop, Nate Arterburn, and the third baseman is James O'Connor. In the outfield, Cole White will be in left field. Center fielder is Josiah Harris. And in right field is Matt Trout. Doing the catching is the first-year Colin Poole. In pitching, Tim, making the first start of his career will be the sophomore Jacob Montemore out of Cincinnati, Ohio, Turpin High School. And he will get things going here on the hill as the Spartans set to get going here against the Yeomen. So Montemore ready. His first pitch on the way. And it misses down and away to Leonard. It's a 1-0 count. Leonard, the center fielder, 1 home run, 9 runs batted in this season. He's hitting a .292. He's stolen 2 bases as well, so something to watch out for if he gets on base. Pitch is taken up high for a ball, and it's quickly 2-0. Montemore did pitch in 1 game last year. That was that crazy game against NYU. If you're a Spartan fan, you probably have some memories of that one. That was that game that I believe went into extra innings, battled some light. It was ended in the tie. Just an absolutely wild game between those two teams. Montemore got into that one, but missed most of the last season due to injury. Here's the pitch, the 2-1, swung on, popped up in the air, left field side and out of play. And the count evens at 2-2 on Leonard. Montemore, the right-hander, 6'2", 223 pounds. A mechanical and aerospace engineering major. In that appearance against NYU, allowed 1 run on 2 walks and a double. As some extra baseballs will be delivered by Archer Stankowski. Spartans back at home after spending the weekend in Washington, Pennsylvania, where they took on W&J, took 1 of 2 games against the Presidents. As the fastball misses outside, 90 miles an hour there from Montemore, and the count goes full 3-2. Here's the 3-2 offering. And it's popped up, fouling out of play, and we'll get another 3-2 pitch on the way. Here's the 3-2 offering. Once again from Montemore. And it's down and out, ball 4, and a leadoff walk issued. And the leadoff man on here for Oberlin to start the top of the first. And the batter now will be Brady Groves, the right-handed hitter. Groves, .231 hitter on the season. He's 6 of 26 thus far with a double and a home run. He's driven in 8. Big lead at first for Leonard. He's not going, as squaring to bunt, taking the ball there is Groves. And the count goes to 1-0 on the right fielder. Here's the 1-0 offering. Another one down and away, and it's 2-0. Well, Montemore is going to have to try to find the strike zone quick here. So far, 9 pitches, just 3 have been for strikes. That was a slider there from Montemore at 80 miles an hour. Here's the pitch. And that breaking ball catches the, I thought it caught the outside. Did they call that a ball? I think they called it a ball, so it's 3-0. Here's the 3-0 offering. And that's right in there with the fastball for a called strike at 86. And the count goes to 3-1. Runner at first. Nobody out. Top of the first inning. Montemore trying to get his first out. Here's that one. Throw down to first. Greer able to dig it out of the dirt as Leonard dives back in safely. Here's the 3-1. And inside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks to start the first. There'll be 2 on, nobody out, and a dangerous hitter coming up in Kyle Baxt out of Wellington, Florida. Baxt, the .385 hitter. He has 10 hits and 26 at-bats so far this year. 4 for extra bases, 3 doubles, a home run. He's driven in 6. Batting out of the 3 spot here. Bax, the first baseman, awaits the first pitch from Montemore, who's trying to work his way out of some early trouble. Took a little bit off of that and parked it up high for ball 1, 1-0. And that's now 9 of his first 13 pitches out of the strike zone. And that's going to bring Steve Grunberg out to the mound, the Spartans pitching coach, to have a talk here with Montemore. Bax at the plate again out of Wellington, Florida. I was actually just down in that area myself, not too far from Lion Country Safari over there, where I was down about 2-3 weeks ago with my kids. Drove right through Wellington. I think that Chattahoochee or something along those lines, Florida, where Lion Country Safari is. It's the perfect spot to take your kids when they're not quite ready, or at least when you're not quite ready to spend the money on Disney. They have the Lion Safari you drive through, and then there's a little amusement park at the end. Fantastic. So 2 on. Nobody out after the meeting on the mound. Montemore is going to have to work his way around some trouble here. Here's the pitch on the way. And the fastball down and in, 2-0. We'll see how quickly the Spartans get the bullpen up and moving. Looks like the answer will be very, as someone is up and throwing there already. The 2-0 on the way. Outside corner that time with a fastball for a called strike, 2-1. Yeah, fastball there. So 2-1. Another one on the outside corner for a strike, and all of a sudden maybe Montemore starting to locate that fastball a little better. Two. taking his time. Long look back, now to the plate. And just misses with the slider. And the count goes full again, 3-2. So Montemore having some trouble locating that slider early on. Here in a 3-2 hole. And it's hit in the air, center field, right at Harris, who charges in and loses the ball. It drops in front of him. He'll get it in quickly to keep the runner at third. But that'll go as a single to center field. Tough luck base hit there, as Harris just couldn't really read that ball off the bat. And that will load the bases with nobody out here. First hit of the game for Oberlin. And the bases are now loaded for the third baseman, Sam Lebrecht, hitting a .286 on the season. Lebrecht, 6 hits and 21 at-bats, 1 home run, 4 runs batted in. It's timeout called at the plate. So Oberlin threatening early against Montemore, who delivers a strike there to Lebrecht, and the count goes to 0-1. Lebrecht, a sophomore from Yardley, Pennsylvania. Attended Pennsbury High School. That one misses for ball 1. And the count evens 1-1 on Lebrecht. Nice pitch there, catches for a strike. Right at the letters, it's 76. That was a little bit of a better slider there. Hung it a little bit, but able to get it for a called strike. And Montemore ahead in the count for a rare time in the early going in this one. Another slider, and that one's in there. It's a called strike 3. So Lebrecht down looking, and that is a big first out to get at the plate. If you're Montemore, and all of a sudden, maybe a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel here to get out of the inning. He'll face Daniel Developin, the .235 hitter so far this season, and left fielder for Oberlin. First pitch, swing and a miss. That was a fastball that he threw by him, and it's an 0-1 count. Fouled back, and it's 0-2. So the base is loaded for Oberlin, but all of a sudden, again, Montemore pitching with a bit more confidence here. The 0-2 offering on the way. Montemore working from the first base side of the rubber, sets and delivers. And it's popped foul and out of play, and Developin stays alive. Count remains at 0-2. Spartans have always seemed to get some really good pitchers out of the Cincinnati area. Jake Shields, someone a couple years back. Kyle Geerding, that one missed up high. Good waste pitch there. Count goes to 1-2. Montemore trying to get that slider to do what he wants it to here. The 1-2 went quick there, and it's popped up. First base side, foul territory. Long run over for Greer, but he won't have a shot in it as it gets out of play. 27 pitches now for Montemore. But again, pitching with a little more confidence here. After 9 of his first 13 pitches were balls, 11 of his last 14 have been for strikes. Head in the count, 1-2 on Developin. And another one fouled away. Count stays at 1-2. Leonard walked to start the inning. Groves walked to follow him. He's at second. Leonard at third. At first is Bax to hit a single to center field. That ball hit in the air, deep towards left, going back, still going back at the wall, and it's off the wall. Getting it in is White. 2 runs will come in to score, though, as Leonard and Groves come in on the 2 RBI, 2-strike double by Developin. And Oberlin takes the early lead. It's 2-0. So still just 1 out in the inning, and Oberlin has taken the early lead, and now the batter will be Daniel Craybill. Craybill 3 for 15 to start the year. First pitch. Fastball just misses outside, and it's 1-0. That's the 30th pitch of the inning for Montemore. Still just 1 out, 2-0 deficit for the Spartans here early. Backs the runner at third, Developin the runner at second. Pardon me, that's Developin is over at second. 1-1 the count after the foul ball there by Craybill. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Down and in for a ball, blocked nicely behind the plate by Poole. Count stays at 2-1. Two-one pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Two and two count, 1 away. Big out here if Montemore can get it. And it's grounded, and that's through for a base hit into right field. 1 run in, stopping at third is Developin. But it's an RBI single, another 2-strike hit. And that makes it 3-0 as Craybill drives in the run. So Montemore in some early trouble here. It's now a 3-run deficit. And the batter coming to the plate will be Anton Shelton, who hits that down the first base side. Tag will be applied. And out going to first is Shelton. Shelton a little shaken up after the tag. I think he tried to avoid it and was a bit off balance when the tag was applied. Either way, Craybill to second. Developin into score. Developin, into score. And that makes it 4-0. And a called strike to start off the at-bat here against Ryan Robinson. Here's the 0-1 to Robinson. Popped foul down the right field line. And that will get out of play. So the count now 0-2 on Robinson, who's hitting, well, 0 for 6 so far this year. 3 runs scored. So he's looking for his first hit of the season. Robinson in 6 at-bats has struck out 5 times so far. He has drawn 3 walks and been hit by 3 pitches. So his on-base percentage is at .500. Behind in the count here, 0-2, the pitch from Montemore. Long look back to second. Craybill leads off. The pitch comes, and it's fouled back. Oberlin's taking the early lead in this one. Montemore stepped off the mound. He did disengage there. As the runner goes back to second, Craybill comes back in without the throw. Another 0-2 offering. And it's in there, a called strike 3. So the second strikeout of the inning for Montemore ends the frame, but the Spartans will have to overcome an early deficit as Oberlin with 4 runs on 3 hits in the first inning. No errors and a man left on. We'll move along to the bottom of the first in Case Western Reserve University coming up to bat for the first time today. And let's go ahead without further ado and get you the batting order for the Spartans, who are still without Eli Westrick. Hoping to get him back soon. It'll be James O'Connor playing third and batting leadoff. Tyler Stilson, the designated hitter, bats second. Matt Trout in the lineup today, hitting third and playing right field. And then Tucker Greer, the first-year player who's coming off a really nice weekend. He'll be playing first and hitting cleanup. Calvin Gelly, the second baseman in the 5 spot. Josiah Harris playing center field and batting 6th. Colin Poole, the catcher, hitting 7th. Cole White playing left field and batting 8th. And then Nate Arterburn, the shortstop, hits 9th. Defensively for Oberlin, over at first base is Kyle Back. Second baseman, Ryan Robinson. The shortstop is Yu Fu Chen. And the third baseman is Sam Lebrec. In the outfield, Daniel DeVapelin is in left field. Center fielder is Patrick Leonard. The right fielder is Brady Groves. Doing the catching is Anton Shelton. And on the mound is Warner Gearhart, who will be making his first appearance of the season. Gearhart, the lefty, last season appeared in 9 games, including a pair of starts. The sophomore, this year a sophomore, last year a first year. He went 1-1 last year with a 7.24 ERA. Through 27 1/3 innings, he did give up 43 hits and 12 walks. That's a batting average of .355 against him. He struck out 20, walked again 12 during that stretch. So we'll see if Warner Gearhart out of Riverside, Connecticut, attended Greenwich Country Day School up there. See what he can do against a talented Spartans lineup today, led by James O'Connor, who will lead things off here. First pitch on the way, and O'Connor takes it for a called strike, 0-1. Now the 0-1 on the way. Down and out for a ball, 1-1. O'Connor, a .308 hitter, 2 doubles, a triple, 8 runs batted in. And sends that one back foul and out of play, 1-2. O'Connor playing third base for the second straight day. And the ground ball hit up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, and on to first as Chen made the play to retire O'Connor for the first out. So O'Connor grounds out to short, 6-3 on the putout, and that'll bring Tyler Stilson to the plate. Stilson hitting at .348 on the season. No home runs, 4 runs batted in for Stilson, who cooled off a little after his red-hot start opening weekend here at Nobby's Ballpark against Oswego State. He was named the UAA Hitter of the Week after that first weekend. Takes the first pitch up and away for ball 1. He was named the UAA Player of the Week again this week, but did so as a hitter as he swings and misses. Pardon me, as a pitcher. Stilson coming off a complete game not a shutout, but did not allow an earned run against W&J. Shut down the Presidents until the 9th when an error allowed the only run of the game to score for Washington and Jefferson in a 5-1 Spartan win. Stilson fouled that one off, and the count now 1-2. Tyler's going to be heading with the rest of the team back a little closer to home, significantly closer to home, down to Lexington, South Carolina next week for the team's spring break trip. Here's the 1-2 offering. And he hits it hard, but foul down the third baseline. Count stays at 1-2 on Stilson. Here's the 1-2. And that one way up high. 2-2 the count. Gerhart rocks and delivers the 2-2, and a swing and a miss. Strike 3. 84-mile-an-hour fastball that he got Stilson to swing through, and they're quickly 2 retired here in the first for the Spartans. And the batter at the plate will be Matt Trout. Trout, the team's leading hitter so far this year. The righty's batting at .421 on the season. 4 runs batted in, 2 doubles and a triple so far for Trout, who's off to a nice start. First pitch on the way, and hits that in the air, deep towards right, headed back towards the wall in front of the warning track, and it's over the head of the right fielder. Trout's going to turn the corner at second. He'll dig for third. Here comes the throw, and it's nowhere near in time. Second triple of the season for Trout, who sends one off the wall in right field, and the Spartans have a 2-out runner just 90 feet away from scoring here in the first. So a nicely hit ball there by Trout. And there's now a runner at third with 2 away, and the batter will be Tucker Greer. Greer, the local product and a second-generation Spartan. His father played baseball here at Case Western Reserve. First pitch on the way to Tucker, and he swings and fouls it off, and the count goes to 0-1. Tucker 5 for 13 to start the year. 2 doubles, a triple, 2 runs batted in for Greer, who's seen himself get playing time here with Eli Westrick out, who started the season as the Spartans' first baseman. Swings and misses at that pitch. 75-mile-an-hour change, I believe. And that brings the count to 0-2. So Greer going to try to protect the plate here with 2 strikes and a runner at third. 2 away, the pitch. And the breaking pitch just misses off that outside corner. Curveball there, I think. Curveball. Brings the count to 1-2. One, 2 again. That one misses outside. 2-2. 85-mile-an-hour fastball from Gerhart. Have to imagine he's setting up that curveball again here. 2-2. And fouled it away. Good job by Greer. Is that the changeup maybe? Changeup there, yep. So he's got that changeup that comes in the mid to high 70s. The fastball is the low to mid 80s, and then that curveball that we've seen as well from Greer a few times. 2-2 on the way. And swung on, hit hard towards third, off the glove of the third baseman and into left field, and that'll bring a run across. It'll be an error on the third baseman. Trout comes in to score on the play. No RBI, and it'll be an unearned run as Case Western Reserve on the board here. It's now 4-1. So that'll bring up Calvin Gelly now, who's off to a nice start to his season at the plate. His first year as a full-time starter. Gelly hitting at .312 on the year. Getting the start at second today. He's played the last couple games out at second base as he takes ball 1. The St. Louis product. Awaits the pitch. Swings and fouls that one back, and it's 1-1 on Gelly. So if nothing else, the Spartans get on the board here in the first inning and make Gearhart work a little bit harder. He's now up to 19 pitches, about to throw his 20th after he retired the first two batters pretty quickly. Gelly hits that one in the air, diving quickly into center field. Diving and making the catch in center field is Patrick Leonard. Leonard had to go a long way to catch that dying line drive, but was able to lay out and make the grab to end the inning and leave the man stranded at first for the Spartans. So we will move along into the second. It's a 4-1 lead for Oberlin, 9-1-2 in the order due up for the Yeomen when we come back. It'll be Chen, Leonard, and Groves when we return.
Now pitching for the Spartans, number 2, Jack Millman.
Well, the outing is done for Jacob Montemore. Final line on the Spartan sophomore. An inning pitch, 3 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. He walked 2, struck out 2, faced 8 batters. And we'll turn it over now to Jack Millman, another sophomore. Millman out of Baltimore, Maryland, Pikesville High School, a right-handed pitcher, 5'10" and 180 pounds. And Millman, who missed all of last season due to injury, will be making his second appearance of this year. Millman allowed an unearned run and walked 1, did not give up a hit, and his only other appearance of the season, that came over the weekend. Millman made his collegiate debut against Washington and Jefferson. That was in Sunday's game, so he's pitching on just 2 days rest after throwing 15 pitches in that game. So we'll see what Millman can do here today. Millman facing the 9-hitter, Chen, who's hitting a 176 on the year, and the first pitch misses up and in, ball 1. Millman's someone who the Spartans really liked coming in last season, but had an injury that kept him out all last year, so they're excited to get him in the mix as that pitch misses, and they'll say Chen held up as the count goes to 2-0. Facing the 9-hitter here, if you're Millman, especially coming off last inning, you want to throw strikes in this situation. Here's the pitch, and that's it in the air towards left, but played it perfectly out there was White, who only has to take a few steps before putting it away for the out. So Chen, on a soft liner to left field, retired for the first out of the inning. And back to the top of the order now, it'll be Patrick Leonard, the left-handed hitter, who walked and scored the first run of the game for Oberlin back in the first inning. Swing and a miss there. Inside. Two and one count now on Leonard. Millman, who has 1 out in the inning, hit softly down the third base side by Leonard. And the count goes to 2-2. Working a bit on that center field camera, trying to line it up there for you. That's looking pretty good now. There we go. 2-2 on the way from Millman. And it's up high, ball 3, 3-2. Three-two pitch. And outside, ball 4. That is the third walk drawn by Oberlin today. And now the batter will be Brady Groves, who drew one of the other walks earlier in the game. And that one misses. So 1-0 on Groves, a .231 hitter on the year. Called strike there. Curve, I believe, at 71. Yep. Ellery and Jackson working the track man today as the runner was going, but the pitch is fouled off. And the count goes to 1-2. Jack Millman, his Nobby's ballpark debut, at least regular season debut, as that's down low, 2-2. Two. Fouled off. Runner goes, the pitch swung on, lined into left field, and that's down for extra bases. Going on the pitch was Leonard, and he should be able to score on this one. The throw is going to come to the infield. No chance to get anybody, as it'll be an RBI double for Groves down the left field line. And that increases the lead to 5-1 for Oberlin, with one out here in the second. And so one away now, and the batter will be Kyle Baxt with a runner in scoring position. Second double of the year for Groves, by the way, his team-leading 9th RBI of the season. And a chance here for Bax to extend the lead further. Bax hit a ball to center field that Josiah Harris just lost in the sun. Loaded the bases for Oberlin at the time as he takes the first pitch fastball for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Inside, 1-1. Inside that time with the curve, and it's 2-1. Top of the second inning, 5-1 Oberlin. And that one's fouled off. So it's now a 2-2 count. Big out here for Millman to get with a tough hitter at the plate in Baxt. Millman, the righty, facing the right-handed slugger for Oberlin. 2-2. Swung on, hit in the air, but foul. Bax pulled that one, but was just out in front of it. Two pitch on the way. Fastball hit in the air, deep towards center field. Harris going back, still going back, glides over and makes the catch. Tagging from second and moving up to third on the play will be Groves, but a good job there by Harris to track that one down deep in right center field. And there'll be 2 away now. Runner at third, and Sam Lebrecht will be the batter. Lebrecht struck out looking his first time up against Montemore. Bat here with a runner at third and 2 away. Millman trying to work through the inning. First pitch. Grounded foul down the first base side, 0-1. So Oberlin has had control of this game early. That one's foul down the third base side, and it's 0-2. And Millman a chance to work through the inning with just the 1 runner allowed to score here, but needs to get 1 more strike as he skips that one in there, 1-2. Groves is the runner at third. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Off the fist, then fouled away. Count stays at 1-2. Here's the 1-2 offering. And the breaking ball stays inside, 2-2. 2-2 count, 2 away, the pitch from Millman. Swung on, grounded, foul down the third base side, and we'll do it again here. A lot of pitches early on in this game. Montemore, I believe, threw 39 in the first inning. Millman here in the second is about to throw his 28th. And hit by the pitch is Lebrecht, and so he will reach. And it'll be first and third now with 2 away. And batter will be Daniel Devopolin. Devopolin doubled in a pair of runs his first time up. Facing Millman for the first time. Devopolin now hitting at .278 on the season. First pitch. Swung on, chop. Third base side going to be a tough play for O'Connor, and he will let it go foul, and wisely so. Good job there by O'Connor, who charged hard. I thought he was going to try to make a play on it, but wisely let that one roll foul because, frankly, I'm not sure there was a play to be had there. If he picks that up, in all likelihood, in fair territory, a runner would score. Smart risk to take there, so Devopolin is back at the plate with an 0-1 count. Millman about to throw his 30th pitch of the inning. Oh, 1 offering now from Millman with runners on the corners. Runner goes from first, and the pitch is fouled back. And the count goes to 0-2. Lebrecht yet to attempt to steal this season. He's standing at first. Groves the runner at third with 2 away, and Devopolin at the plate. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Millman got him swinging at that one for the final out of the inning, but another run scores for Oberlin on a hit. They leave 2 men on base, and we'll move along to the bottom of the second. Case Western Reserve coming to bat, down 4, 5-1 the score It'll be Harris, Poole, and White due up when we return. Welcome back. The Spartans with some work to do at the plate. They trail by 4, 5-1 the scores. We begin the bottom of the second. Josiah Harris set to lead things off. Harris hitting a .292 to start the year. Everyone cooled off a little bit, at least at the plate, for the Spartans at Washington and Jefferson after a really sharp week at home to open the season. Gearhart back out on the mound, begins his second inning of work as Harris fouls that one back, and it's 0-2. Josiah is 7 for 24 this year, 4 runs, 1 double, 2 RBIs. Takes that pitch down and away for a ball, and it's 1-2. And he swings and misses at the pitch in the dirt, strike 3. They'll have to complete the play at first, but the catcher does so. And that will be the first out of the inning. And we'll bring Colin Poole to the plate with 1 away and the bases empty. Poole hitting at .312 on the season. Awaits the first pitch. And it misses outside, ball 1. Now the 1-0. Ground ball, foul down the third base side, 1-1. Poole, that .312 batting average to begin his collegiate career. He's 5 of 16 with a double, 4 runs batted in. He's looked impressive in the early going of his career. Gearhart sets on the mound, his 1-1 offering to Poole. And it catches the outside corner for a called strike, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Up high, 2-2. Gearhart now at 28 pitches. He retired the first 2 quickly in the first inning, but then gave up a triple and an error allowed the runner to score. Here's the 2-2 offering now. Hit hard towards short, fielded there by Chen. Chen with the throw to first and in time for the out. 91 off the bat from Poole. But right at the shortstop Chen, and there are 2 gone in the inning, and the batter now will be Cole White. White, the first year out of Collegeville, Pennsylvania, getting the start in left field today, batting at .500 on the season. First pitch. Off the outside corner for a ball, 1-0. And takes that pitch down Main Street for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Action, I believe, is continuing in the bullpen here for the Spartans. So it looks like Millman's day may be done as that pitch is in the dirt. Might have clipped the catcher there as Shelton might have taken that one off the padding, and the count goes to 2-1 on White. White 2 hits and 4 at bats, both singles. Takes that pitch in the dirt, and it's 3-1. He made the start in right field in the second game against W&J last week. Starting in left field here today. 3-1 on the way. And he swings, grounds it hard right at the third baseman, Lebrec, who throws across the diamond right on target for the final out of the inning. And that will end the frame. So the Spartans go down 1-2-3 in the second, and we'll move along to the third. 5-1 Oberlin winning. Craybill, Shelton, and Robinson due up when we return. New pitcher on the mound for the Spartans will be Eric Colgrove, who will make his second appearance of the season. Colgrove's first appearance didn't go great. Went a third of an inning against Oswego State on that Sunday game, the third game of the series. Allowed 1 hit, walked 2, 2 runs scored against him. Hit a pair of batters as well, so a shaky season debut for Colgrove that'll look to rebound from here. And we'll get set to get going here. Colgrove, righty out of Los Altos, California, Los Altos High School, 6'2", 165, the sophomore righty. Awaits the first pitch as he delivers to Craybill, in there for a called strike. 0-1. And that one just missed for a ball, and it's 1-1. In the air, center field, right at Harris, who's charging in, dives, and makes the catch. He does. Did everyone signaling? Yes, he makes the catch. Nice play in center field by Josiah. So Josiah making the play there, the newly minted center fielder for the Spartans, who had played mostly in the infield the previous 3 seasons on the team. It's a good job there, and there is one away now in the third inning. Another one chopped foul, and the count goes to 0-1 on Shelton. inside, and it's 1-1 now on Shelton, who had a squeeze bunt his last time up for an RBI. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Coldgrove has a bit of an unorthodox motion, and especially for a righty, it's tough to pick that ball up. He comes from pretty high up, but over the side a bit. Well, I guess he kind of, it's more from that side arm delivery there. And that one slipped out of his hand. That's always a trick when you come from that far out. You got to make sure you finish off your pitch, or it's going to sail out like that. Kind of keep that shoulder a bit compact and closed off. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. And the count stays at 2-2. Coldgrove ready. Trying to get the second out of the inning here. Here's his 2-2. And down and away for a ball, and it's 3-2. Three-two pitch on the way. In the air, right field, coming on and making the catch is Trout for the out. And there are two gone. So a couple fly balls for 2 outs.
Now batting, Ryan Robinson. Yeah, I thought I was like late on that one. Then I wasn't.
Called strike, and the count goes to 0-1. Batter at the plate is Ryan Robinson, the second baseman, looking for his first hit of the year. Struck out looking to end the first inning. And that one misses inside. Robinson just moved out of the way of it. And the count goes to 1-1. Two and one now. In the air, fouling out of play, 2-2, and Coldgrove a strike away from a 1-2-3 inning. Chopper foul. So Robinson staying alive, but still a 2-2 count, 2 away. Here's the pitch from Coldgrove. Swung on and fouled off again. Oberlin has done a nice job working some pretty good at-bats here. Working up some pitch counts so far. Here's the pitch. Swung on and foul tip back, I believe. Yeah, it's a foul ball there. I believe the home plate umpire just lost a piece of his mask, so he'll try to recover that and attach it back on. Two and two count at the plate. The Spartans trying to keep it at a 4-run game here as Coldgrove about to throw his 18th pitch of the inning. I think the home plate umpire might have taking that off his chin a little bit. I think he'll be okay. There was a game, I think it was a Marietta game last week, that had to get called because the home plate umpire got sick in the middle of the game, as that misses up high for a ball. Full count, 3-2. He got sick in the middle of the game, and then there was only a two-umpire crew, so you have to have the two umpires to play, and the game was called. Will be continued, I think, before Marietta makes it down to South Carolina next week, where they'll face the Spartans on Monday. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice pitch there from Colgrove. And that ends the inning. So 1-2-3 inning for Colgrove, who finishes it off with a strikeout, and we'll move along to the bottom of the third. The Spartans will try to break through here with the 9-1 and 2 hitters coming up. Arterburn, O'Connor, and Stilson due up when we return. New pitcher on the mound for Oberlin will be Matthew Retke. Retke will be making his, second appearance of the season. His first out of the bullpen. He made one start, 1-0 with a 1.50 ERA through 6 innings of work. He allowed 7 hits, walked 2, struck out 6. 304 opponent's average for Retke this year. He's a sophomore out of Northbrook, Illinois, right-handed pitcher. Retke last season made 9 appearances, including 4 starts. He was 1-2 with a 6.61 ERA. 21 strikeouts, 12 walks, and 32 2/3 innings, allowed a 296 opponent's average. So we'll see what the Spartans can do here as Nate Arterburn with his first at-bat of the game takes it up high, and it's 1-0. Arterburn hitting a 286 on the season. Here's the pitch. And that's foul back, 1-1. Here's the 1-1 offering. Fouled back by Arterburn, 1-2. Arterburn 6 for 21 to start his year. 4 runs, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. Down and out. 2-2 the count. It'll be Arterburn followed by O'Connor and Stillson. 9-1-2 in the order for the Spartans. 2-2 on the way to Arterburn. And a foul ball. 2-2 still. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And checks his swing. It's down and away, ball 3. Full count, 3-2 on Arterburn. Well, Arterburn will give you these at-bats out of that 9 spot. One of the reasons why the Spartans like him so much in that role. He does a great job seeing pitches, working good at-bats. Is the 3-2, up and in, ball 4. And Arterburn draws the walk against Rutke, and a good start to the inning for the Spartans, who get a man on. Again, it's a 5-1 game. Case Western Reserve trailing here. As James O'Connor steps to the plate. O'Connor 0 for 1 with a ground out to short in his first at bat. First pitch to O'Connor. And he swings and misses, coming up empty on an 85-mile-an-hour fastball as the count goes to 0-1. We'll see if Arterburn runs here. Oberlin has not done a good job controlling the running game thus far this season. As a throw down to first, not in time. 23 stolen bases on 25 attempts through 6 games by Oberlin's opponents. Opposing hitters or base runners have stolen 6 on 7 tries. As a called strike there against the catcher, Shelton. So again, you got to imagine that the Spartans, who have not had a ton of foot traffic so far, are going to be active on the base paths today when they have the opportunity. Throw down to first. Arterburn dives back in. Oh, 2 on the way. Outside for a ball, 1-2. Plenty of time left in this one if you're the Spartans, but you want to start showing some signs of life at the plate here. Spartan bats have slowed down after a really nice start to the season. Love their approach that weekend against Oswego. They were taking a lot of pitches the other way. That ball popped in the air, fouling out of play, and the count stays at 1-2 on O'Connor, who's starting to work a nice at bat. Rutke has already thrown 11 pitches, 6 for strikes, still nobody out in the inning. His first inning of work in relief for Gearhart. Gearhart, who went the first 2 innings, struck out 2, allowed 1 hit, 1 unearned run. Here's the 1-2. Runner goes. The pitch swung on and fouled away again. Count stays at 1-2. Some hitters don't love it when you run with a 2-strike count at the plate, especially taking off to second base. If you're a right-handed hitter, that runner at first base right in your sight line there. And so sometimes you'll see runners a little bit more cautious depending on who's at the plate. Oberlin scored 4 runs in the first inning off Jacob Montemore, added 1 in the second off Jack Millman. Eric Colgrove pitched a scoreless third, and that puts us where we are now in a 5-1 ball game here in the bottom of the third inning. Count stays at 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Connor down swinging. And that will be the first out of the inning. And we'll bring Tyler Stilson to the plate, who has cooled off. Struck out swinging in his first at bat. Just the third strikeout this season for Stilson. He's done a good job making contact. Here's the pitch. And he checks his swing, takes it outside, ball one, 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch. Rutke delivers and misses outside, 2-0. Runner goes, swung on, and that's hit through the hole for a base hit. Hit and run was on there, and the Spartans taking advantage. Pulling into third is Arterburn. Stopping at first with the base hit is Stilson. Second hit of the day for the Spartans. And runners on the corners now with one away for Matt Trout, who has the other Spartan hit of the day, a triple that came with 2 outs in the first. He sent it to the opposite field, where we've seen Trout going more and more often. Trout now hitting at .450 this year. He tripled and then came around to score the only run of the game thus far for Case Western Reserve. He'll hit here with men on the corners trying to cut into a 4-run lead for Oberlin with 1 out in the third. First pitch down and away, ball 1. See if Trout is moving here. He's looking runner-ish at first. Not going on that pitch as it's taken up high. Excuse me, that's Stilson at first. Trout at the plate. Stilson 0 for 1 on stolen base attempts this year. He's a selective base stealer, but can take a base. Again, wouldn't be shocked to see him in motion at some point, even with the runner at third and 1 away. 2-0 on the way. And a called strike on the outside corner. It looked like it may have missed a little from up here. Instead, the count goes to 2-1, and that's a big pitch, a big call there. Turns what would have been a 3-0 count instead to a competitive 2-1. 2-1 on the way to Trout. Swings, grounds it over to short, and gets past the shortstop. And into left field. That'll bring a run across. Trout will dig for second, and he'll pull in safely. It'll be an error on the shortstop. No RBI for Trout. It is an earned run, though. And so second and third, the Spartans on that one will make it a 5-2 game, and that brings the potential game-tying run to the plate in the form of Tucker Greer. First pitch. That one hit into center field. It's a base hit. In to score easily from third is Stilson. Rounding the corner at third is Trout. He'll come in to score without a throw. First pitch swinging, a 2 RBI single up the middle for Greer. And the Spartans right back in this. It's 5-4. So Case Western Reserve, after the slow start, right back in the mix here now. And now the batter will be Calvin Gelly, who fouls that one off his foot, and the count goes to 0-1. Now the pitch. Outside corner called strike. 0-2. in the dirt. 1-2. One and two, the count on Gelly. Rutke, the pitcher on the mound, has run into some trouble this inning as Gelly pops that one up. Shallow right, might be trouble. Charging and unable to make the catch as it bounces off of his glove is the right fielder. He then gives up on the play and able to make it safely to second is Greer. Well, that'll be an error on the right fielder. Greer moves up 90 feet. They might have had a play on Greer, but the second error of the inning. And so it'll be runners on first and second. Runner now goes, hit hard towards second. Bouncer over to first in time for the out. And a nice play there to retire Harris. Both runners will move up. With 2 outs now, it's second and third in a 5-4 game. So now 2 away. 2 in scoring position. And the batter at the plate is Colin Poole, who takes that outside for ball 1, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Off the plate, 2-0. Greer can, pardon me, Greer at third, Gelly at second. Poole the batter. Rutke here can afford to be a little careful with Poole at the plate with first base open, especially with the count 2-0 now. You can't give him something too good to hit here. And he misses up high with that pitch, 3-0. 85-mile-an-hour fastball just above the letters. Let's see if Poole gets the green light, although, again, I'm not sure Rutke has any intention of throwing him anything too good to hit here. Might rather face White with the bases loaded. Oh, they're swinging, grounds it over to short, fielded there by Chen, whose throw to first is on target for the out. And swinging 3-0, Poole grounds out to end the inning. The Spartans leave the potential game-tying and go-ahead runners on the base paths. 5-4 the score. As we move along into the fourth, it'll be Chen, Leonard, and Groves due up when we return as the Spartans back in this one down just a run. Eric Colgrove back out on the mound to begin his second inning of work. First pitch bunted back to him on the mound. Picks it up, throws to first, and just in time to get the out as Chen is retired. The 9-hitter laid down a nice bunt.
Up to bat, number 20, Patrick Leonard.
But a good job by Colgrove to retire him for the out, and there's one gone quickly. Colgrove has retired all 4 batters he's faced, and now will return to the top of the lineup for the first time for him, third time through the order for the Spartans pitching staff in general, as Patrick Leonard takes the first pitch down low, ball 1. Leonard, a .292 hitter on the year. He's walked twice and scored twice so far in this one. Now the 1-0, excuse me, on the way. That one caught the lower inside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1. So the Spartans getting back within a run against Oglethorpe here. This is one of those games that, you look at on the surface, say, hey, Case Western Reserve early in the season, ranked high, facing an Oglethorpe team that despite having some success, a couple years ago, making it to the NCAA tournament, making it to the regional final, not necessarily a baseball powerhouse, and you say, okay, well, what are the Spartans doing losing in this one? Well, it's one of those midweek games, and don't forget it was a very similar situation that the Spartans faced. I think it was 2 years ago the last time, or 3 years ago the last time these two teams played, when Case Western Reserve went to Oberlin, played the Yeomen, as that is just off the plate, ball 4. And drawing the walk there is Leonard, his 3rd walk of the day. But, it was I think that was a 4-3 loss for the Spartans at Oberlin. And again, these midweek games, you're kind of trying to line your pitching staff up. You never know what can happen in these as Grove steps in and takes a called strike, 0-1. One away, runner at first. That's the first base runner to reach against Colgrove. Groves, though, at the plate, has been on base twice. A walk and a run scored and an RBI double so far today for Groves. Swing and a miss, and the count goes to 0-2. Pickoff attempt at first. Nice move there by Colgrove, trying to catch the runner, Leonard, sleeping. But no such luck. Colgrove now back on the mound. Groves the righty at the plate. And taps that one foul. Count stays at 0-2 on Groves. Groves versus Colgrove. With 1 out and 1 on here in the 4th. 5-4 the score. Oberlin leading by a run. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Nicely blocked there by Poole as he keeps the runner at first base. Poole has done just such a good job defensively for this Spartan team. He has really been solid behind the plate so far. Warming up in the bullpen for Oberlin is Shane McKenna. As the runner goes, the pitch hit foul down the first baseline. So a little hit and run action with a 1-2 count. Eric Colgrove. Here's his 1-2. Ground ball hit towards second. High chopper. O'Connor has it. Applies the tag for 1. Throw to first won't be in time. But a good job there by O'Connor to sit back and wait just long enough on that one to still have time to make the tag. And there'll be 2 away now. Runner at first base. And the batter will be Kyle Bax, who has hit the ball well twice. The first one, a line drive to center field for a base hit. The second one was one hit deep into the gap in right center field that Josiah Harris was able to track down for an out. Back's now hitting at .393 on the season and takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1. Hit in the air, fouling out of play, 0-2. And Colgrove a strike away from his second scoreless inning. Oh and 2, 2 away. Baxed at the plate. The pitch from Colgrove. Down and away, ball 1, 1-2. Runner goes. The pitch taken for a ball. Didn't miss by much, and stealing second successfully is Groves. That's his his first stolen base of the season. Got a huge jump there, so went on the right pitch too. Colgrove threw a breaking ball. And he'll look the runner back. The pitch. And just above the letters for a ball. Full count, 3-2. Three-two count. And ball 4 just misses inside, and Bax draws the walk. Second walk of the inning issued by Colgrove. Second walk of the game he's issued as well. That is the 5th walk by Spartan pitching today. And the batter now will be Sam Lebrecq, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking and a hit by pitch in his 2 times to the plate today. He'll hit here with 2 on and 2 away. Groves the runner at second. Backs to first. Lebrecq, a .273 hitter on the year. First pitch, swung on chopper. Third base side, fielded cleanly by O'Connor, who dives back and can't make the tag. And the bases will be loaded. That'll be an infield hit. So the base is now loaded. Sorry, that's O'Connor over at third base. Earlier, who made the tag at second, that was Calvin Gelly. So apologies there, but now the bases will be loaded. First hit allowed by Colgrove. And now a snap throw down to first, not in time. Devalpolin. Devalpolin is at the plate here, batting at .263. The 1-0 from Colgrove. Inside 2-0. Home plate umpire today seems to be giving a little bit more leeway on that outside portion of the plate. As a swing and a miss there. 2-1 on Devalpolin. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner, and there's that outside corner that, again, we've seen maybe a little bit more leeway on those calls than on the inner portion of the plate today. And now Colgrove a strike away from leaving him stranded. Bases loaded, 2 away. Big pitch here, 2-2, 2 outs. Colgrove delivers. Inside, full count, 3-2. So the merry-go-round will be in motion here with 2 outs and the full count. Here is the 3-2 pitch. Runners go. Swung on, grounded, foul. We'll get another 3-2 upcoming. believe Jeff Radinsky warming up in the Spartan bullpen. Again, it's Shane McKenna in the Oberlin bullpen. As it appears, both these teams content today to take part in a bullpen game. 3-2. Inside, ball 4, and that will force across a run as Oberlin draws the walk. And it's now 6-4, Oberlin with the lead. So that will bring up Daniel Craybill, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a fly out to center today. That pitch misses, ball 1, 1-0. Six for the score. The Spartans trailing by 2. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Bases still loaded for Oberlin as that ball pops sky high, shallow left. Arterburn going back, calls everyone off and makes the catch. And that will end the inning, but Oberlin adds a run on a bases loaded walk. And we'll move along into the bottom of the 4th. The Spartans, who scored 3 runs their last time up, will look to keep it going here, down 2. It'll be White, Arterburn, and O'Connor due up when we return. New pitcher on the mound for Oberlin will be Shane McKenna, number 33. McKenna, the left-handed pitcher out of Brooklyn, New York, a first year. Attended Choate Rosemary Hall, which, if I'm not mistaken, I think is up in Connecticut. I don't think that's a New York City school. McKenna, no record on the year through 2 appearances, a 7.71 ERA. He does have 1 save. Through 2 1/3 innings, he's given up 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. He has walked 2, struck out 1. Opponents are hitting .333 against him. He'll face White, Arterburn, and O'Connor here, 8, 9, and 1 in the Spartans order.
Now batting for Case Western, number 35, Cole White.
So White stands in. McKenna's first appearance was against Sewanee. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. 1 walk, struck out 1 in an inning and 2/3. As that pitch taken down low by White for ball 1. White grounded out to third in his first at bat. Here's the 1-0. And that ball hit in the air hard towards left, and it's in for a base hit. In front of Oberlin out there in left field. And a hard hit ball by White. 102 off the bat on that base hit. So the first year continues to swing the bat well, and that'll bring up Nate Arterburn, who walked and scored the first run of the game for the Spartans. Pardon me, the second run of the game for the Spartans. Last inning. First pitch. And that one catches for a strike. Slider right down the heart of the plate for a strike 1. 0-1 the count. Spartans trail by 2. It's 6-4. 6 runs, 5 hits, 3 errors for Oberlin. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Spartans. Up high, ball 1, 1-1 the count. That ball popped up behind short. Chen there and puts it away for the out. So Arterburn pops out. White has to stay at first base, and now back to the top of the order as James O'Connor will be the batter. O'Connor 0 for 2. Ground out to short and a strikeout swinging in his 2 trips to the plate. O'Connor now 11 strikeouts through 6 games, 6+ games this year. So that's something to look out for. O'Connor's been a bit of a free swinger at the plate so far. And foul tips that one back 0-1. O'Connor, part of the very talented class of first-year players for the Spartans, including Greer and White, Knutson, who's not in the game today. Poole, as the runner will be picked off to see if they could complete the play, sliding in and applying the tag. And out on his way to third is White. And there are 2 gone in the inning now. So 2 gone and 0-1 count on O'Connor at the plate with the bases empty. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And checks his swing, takes it down low, and it's ball 1, 1-1. Foul back, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Stays up high, 2-2. And off the fist there, and the count stays at 2-2 as O'Connor fouls that one back. James O'Connor out of San Antonio. The lefty McKenna shakes off a few signs. Now it's 2-2 on the way. And that ball hit hard but foul. O'Connor a bit out in front of that one. Looped it down the third baseline foul. And it's a 2-2 count still on the Spartans' third baseman. Another 2-2 pitch upcoming. McKenna from the stretch delivers. And it's popped up third base side in shallow left field. Chen going back. And we'll put it away for the out. So the inning over. The Spartans get a base hit, but erased on a pickoff, and we'll move to the 5th. It's 6-4, Oberlin leading. Bottom of the order coming up for the Yeomen. Shelton, Robinson, and Chen when we return. New pitcher on the mound for the Spartans is Jeff Radinsky, who has been used often out of the bullpen so far this year. Starts off Shelton with first pitch strike. Radinsky, the lefty out of Port Washington, New York. Swing and a miss at the high fastball there, and it's 0-2. Radinsky has performed well for the Spartans when they've turned to him. He's making his third appearance of the year as a timeout called at the plate. He's thrown 4 innings, allowed just 1 hit, struck out 4, no walks. He's yet to give up a run. Opponents hitting .091 against him. And we'll see what the Spartans ask for Radinsky here, if it's just 1 inning or they see if they could get 2 out of his arm. But again, for Jeff Radinsky, he has just gotten better and better over the course of the last year. That one misses up high, and it's 1-2. Not a particularly tall pitcher, but he generates a lot of velocity and does it from the left-handed side of the mound, which is always impressive. 1-2. And on the outside corner, sticks the fastball for a called strike 3. So good start to the inning for Radinsky.
Now batting, number 4, Ryan Robinson.
Batter now is Ryan Robinson, who struck out twice and fouls back the first pitch 0-1. Robinson now has had 8 at-bats this year. He's got 7 strikeouts, but again, has been on base plenty. He's got 3 walks, 3 hit by pitches, but just has not made great contact in the early part of the year. That one a shade off that outside corner, but Radinsky wisely working that portion of the plate, knowing that there have been some calls that have been given on that portion of the plate so far today. Ground ball, third base side foul. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That stays up high. It's 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the day for Radinsky. And there were 2 gone here in the 5th. Called strike now to Yufu Chen as the fastball caught the outside corner for strike 1. Radinsky looking for a quick 5th inning here, trying to get those Spartan bats back up to work. Foul tipped, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 offering. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Radinsky strikes out the side in the 5th. 3 up, 3 down, and Radinsky looking sharp. We'll move to the 6th. The bottom of the 5th. 6-4 the score. Case Western Reserve trailing by 2. We'll be back as Stilson, Trout, and Greer, 2, 3, and 4 in the order, due up when we return. Well, we'll get the fourth pitcher of the game for Oberlin. As again, a bullpen game for both of these two teams, and this will be Jamison Bryant. Bryant making his third appearance of the season. He's got an ERA of 2.35, and we'll start things off against Tyler Stilson, who grounds one up the middle. Diving stop made by Chen. Gets up, throws, but not in time. It'll be an infield hit for Stilson on the first pitch he sees. So a nice job there by Stilson to reach. Bryant, 5 innings on the mound this year. He's allowed 4 hits entering the game, now 5 on the season. 3 runs total, but just 1 of them earned. He's walked 4, struck out 2. First pitch from the righty to Trout, who's having himself a nice day. Trout 2 for 2, and now hitting at .476 on the season. Fouls off the first pitch there, and it's an 0-1 count. Trout had a triple in the first inning when it came around to score a run, and then singled in a run his last time up. The 0-1 on the way to Trout. Off the plate, 1-1. Bryant out of Cape Elizabeth, Maine, Cape Elizabeth High School. And that's popped up first base side. Long run over for Bax, trying to circle it. And did he make the catch? He did. Nice play there by Bax for the out. That is not an easy place to catch a ball here. A, you have to run far. B, if you're the first baseman, you got to do it with your back turned to where the ball is coming from. But Bax did a really good job getting there and getting himself turned in the right direction to record the first out of the inning. So for the first time today, Trout is retired, and that'll now bring up Tucker Greer, who had a 2 RBI single in his last at-bat. That made it a 1-run game at the time. Throw down to first, not in time. Greer now batting at .400 on the season. He's got 4 runs batted in. He's making his 4th start of the season, appearing in his 5th game overall. That one's down low, ball 1. Spartans have the leadoff man on. 1 out now in the inning. Stilson taking a lead. That's outside for a ball, 2-0. Again, this is an Oberlin team that has struggled to control the running game so far this season, but the Spartans have been unable to take advantage of that early on in this one. Runner goes here. The pitch is taken down low for a ball. Throw to second. Nowhere near in time. Gets into center field, but Stilson will stay on the base as the count goes to 3-0 on the plate. First stolen base of the season for Stilson, and he's now in scoring position with Greer at the plate in a 3-0 count. Earlier in the game, we saw Colin Poole swing on a 3-0 pitch with 2 men in scoring position. We'll see if another first-year player, Greer, who's at the plate, is a little bit more patient here, if he's got the green light. Again, he's been a hot bat for the Spartans. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Up high, ball 4, and that will put 2 on with 1 away. The potential game-tying runs on the base pass, and the go-ahead run coming to the plate in the form of Calvin Gelly. Gelly, who is 0 for 2 on the day, lined out to center, took a nice diving play in center field to retire him. His first time up to end the first inning, and then reached on an error his last time up. First pitch down and out, ball 1, 1-0. Gelly hitting a .278 on the season. First and second, 1 away. The Spartans feel like they've been on the precipice of breaking through offensively today several times, but just haven't had the breaks go their way thus far. The 1-0 on the way to Gelly. Swings and tips it back into the catcher's glove, and the count goes to 1-1. Ground ball hit towards second, could be two. Flip to the shortstop for one, back on to first, double play, 4-6-3, turned by Oglethorpe. And that, or pardon me, by Oberlin, excuse me, and that will end the fifth inning for the Spartans. We'll move along into the sixth. Case Western Reserve trailing by 2. Jeff Radinsky back out on the mound to face the top of the order when we return. Top of the order due up for Oberlin as we begin the sixth inning. Radinsky, first pitch, fouled off by Leonard, who's walked 3 times today and has scored a pair of runs. Facing Radinsky for the first time after Radinsky struck out the side in the 5th in his first inning of work. Leonard now has walked 9 times through 6+ games this season. Here's the 0-1. Overthrown a bit there as it sails out of the zone, and it's a 1-1 count. Popped up. Arterburn with a beat on it, called off by O'Connor, who settles under it and makes the catch. That is one of those that when it gets in the air, you sort of just hold your breath and hope it ends up in someone's glove before it hits the ground. But O'Connor taking charge there. Arterburn is going to have the right, as he does as a shortstop, but especially now as a veteran shortstop, to take control of those plays in the infield. But certainly that's one that you could tell O'Connor had a read on. And although it looked a little tricky as high as it was hit, he was able to put it away for the out. Now Groves at the plate takes ball 1-0. Groves reached on a fielder's choice his last time up and came around to score a run, the second run he scored today. He's also walked and doubled in a run. Fouls that one off, and it's a 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1 offering. Called strike, 1-2. Boys, Radinsky looked sharp today. All season long, Jeff has looked really good. And he better get a good night's sleep the next 2 nights because he's probably going to be used often down in South Carolina. He's become a major weapon for this team out of the bullpen. Started to merge into that role throughout the season last year, especially towards the end of the year. Became an arm that Coach Englander knew he could rely on out of the bullpen. And boy, Radinsky has been fantastic. Pop foul. Count stays at 2-2. You wonder a little if there's any thought about maybe using Radinsky as a starter down in South Carolina. Maybe even once you get into conference play, once you need to go 4 starters deep. On the outside corner, called strike 3. 4th strikeout through the first 5 batters that Radinsky has faced, and there's 2 gone here in the 6th. And I'll bring up the 3-hitter, Kyle Baxt, who's been on base twice, a single and a walk today for Baxt, sandwiched around a fly out to center field. But you got to wonder with the way Radinsky is pitched, and again, you know, these aren't your typical, like you'd have at the major league level relievers, as that misses outside, where those guys are used to throwing maybe like a maximum of 20 pitches an outing. Radinsky's already up to 22 pitches. He's the kind of guy who could give you right now 40 or 50 pitches, and that might be good enough to kind of push him forward potentially into his starting role. This one's popped up, shallow right center. Trout over, calls off Harris, and makes the play for the out. Another 1-2-3 inning for Radinsky, who's retired all 6 batters he's faced. And we'll move along to the bottom of the 6th. The Spartans trailing by 2, 6-4 the score. Due up for the Spartans, it'll be Harris, Poole, and White, 6, 7, and 8 in the order when we come back.
Now pitching for Oberlin, number 27, Davis Hayes.
New pitcher on the mound for Oberlin will be Davis Hayes. Hayes making his 3rd appearance out of the bullpen this season. He's got a 2.35 ERA. Two appearances, 7 2/3 innings. He's given up 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 of those earned, though. Walked 5 as well. Struck out 4. So, again, maybe a little wild at times. We'll see if that pans out here. He's a junior out of Asheville, North Carolina, right-handed pitcher. First 2 appearances of the year. One came in relief against Sewanee. Went 5 1/3 innings in relief. Gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, walked 2, struck out 3. His other appearance was against against Asbury on Saturday. Went 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs, 1 of them earned. So he's given up runs, but a lot of them unearned. His defense hasn't helped him out a ton. And again, the walk's a little bit high, especially in his last outing against Asbury. We'll see what he could do here against Josiah Harris to lead things off. Harris 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out in his 2 trips to the plate. First pitch stays up high, ball 1, 1-0. Now the 1-0 offering. Breaking ball catches the outside corner for a strike, and it's 1-1. Harris hitting a .269 on the season. Again, he's cooled off a little after that strong start to his season in the first weekend of the year. Spartans are going to need his bat. 2-1 the count. Not just his bat, but when Harris gets on base, he's such a dynamic base runner that you've got to get him on base, and especially against a team like Oberlin that has been prone to the stolen base this year. Reaching here could go a long way. 3-1 as that misses outside. And again, if you're Harris, knowing the damage you could do on the base pass, this is a situation where you could be very selective here. Leading off the inning, facing a new pitcher, the 3-1 on the way from Hayes. And a called strike on that outside corner with the fastball. And it's 3-2, full count. Again, that outside pitch has been called a strike through most of this game. So you got to protect that pitch here if you're Harris. Here's the pitch. And there's the breaking ball that misses away. And that'll be ball 4. That is a dangerous hitter to throw that pitch to. Guessing that was a curve? Is that what we're calling it? Curveball? Yeah, it's risky there throwing the curveball to a good base stealer in a 2-run game in the 6th inning. And you just located that fastball on the outside corner, and I'm not sure I love that pitch selection there from Davis Hayes. Instead, it's a runner on now for Colin Poole, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of hard groundouts to short today. Harris is running first pitch, the throw, and it pops out of the glove of the second baseman, and safe on the steal is Harris. And so there you go. That's exactly what you want to see from Harris, who steals his team-leading 7th base on as many tries this year. Now the question becomes, especially with the right-handed hitter up, do you think about a steal of third? I think you're a little cautious here, down 2. That's a big runner out there. Swing and a miss. And the count goes to 0-2 on Poole. Waiting out on deck is Cole White, who has a base hit and has swung the bat pretty well so far today. 0-2 count. Harris, the runner at second. At the plate is Poole, who takes that down low, 1-2. Well, the danger of these bullpen games is that you eventually might run into the pitcher who's just having an off day. And all it takes is one off inning, especially in a close game like this. Swing and a miss at the breaking pitch, up and in, strike 3. The curveball might have clipped that upper inside corner, and I think Poole wasn't expecting it, had to try to protect the plate late and just couldn't get a bat on it. And so 1 away now, and a runner on at second for Cole White. White now 3 for 6 on the year, 1 for 2 today, including a single his last time up, eventually got picked off. Base hit here should score Harris is the first pitch on the way, outside, ball 1 to White. White looking for the first RBI of his collegiate career, would make it a 1-run game if he could drive the run in here. If Harris is going to run and try to steal third, it would be with 1 out in the inning, you would think. Not going on that pitch, and the fastball clips the outside corner at 80 miles an hour for a strike. You can see Hayes dangerous because he really can locate that fastball on the corner. We've seen him do that a few times. The 1-1 on the way. Ground ball. Play made by the third baseman. Throw back to second, though, not in time. And safe at first is White. So Harris able to get back. Not a base hit there. That'll go as a fielder's choice. And so first and second now, 1 away for Nate Arterburn. Interesting decision there in a 2-run game, and probably one that if you're Lebrecht, the third baseman, you would want to get a do-over on. He fielded that ball, had a clean play at first base, likely would have gotten White. As the first pitch on the way misses up and in for a ball, 1-0. Arterburn today has been on base once, drew a walk, scored a run in the third. Here's the 1-0. Up and in, 2-0. Arterburn, the 9-hitter in the lineup. James O'Connor, the leadoff man, waiting out on deck. 1 away in the inning, 2 on. A 2-run game. Arterburn this year has 6 hits in 22 at-bats, including a pair of doubles. He's driven in 3. That one skipped in the dirt, and it's 3-0, and we'll see if Arterburn gets the green light, 3-0. We've seen it a couple of times already today, but not sure this is the situation you want to give him the free swing here. But Arterburn's got the green light, I believe, if he wants it. No, not going to swing at that one as it's down and out ball 4, and that will load the bases. Well, the Spartans have threatened the last few innings. They've gotten the leadoff man on in each of the last 4 innings. Last inning, they had 2 on and 1 away, but hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Now it'll be up to James O'Connor with the bases loaded and just 1 out in the inning. O'Connor, an aggressive swinger. You got to be careful here if you're Hayes. First pitch down and away, ball 1. O'Connor getting his first at-bat this season with the bases loaded. First at-bat of his collegiate career with the bases loaded. Can he come through? The 1-0. Swings through that one. There's the curveball. And that has been a dangerous pitch. It's been the fastball on that outside corner and the curveball up and in, which is a little bit of a strange combination. You don't see those pitches paired very much, but it's been successful so far today for Hayes. That one over the plate for a called strike. And it's 1-2. One and two count. Here's the pitch. Down and away, 2-2. Well, he throws the fastball down and away. Is that the setup pitch for the curveball here? Does he go back up and in? That has handcuffed a couple of Spartan hitters today, including Colin Poole already this inning. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball lined into left field. That's down for a base hit. 1 run in to score as Harris comes around. White rounds the corner. The throw is cut off. Safe at the plate is White. It's a 2 RBI single for O'Connor, who now leads the team with 10 runs batted in this season. The Spartans tie this one up at 6-6. And now the Spartans, who are even for the first time in this one, will send Tyler Stilson to the plate, who has hits in each of his last 2 at-bats. And Stilson, the most dangerous hitter in this Spartan lineup, will bat now with 2 on and 1 away. The potential go-ahead run over at second. First pitch on the way to Stilson. Swung on, grounded, foul down the first base side, 0-1. So Connor coming through. Again, a team-leading 10 RBIs for O'Connor, who has hit out of the leadoff spot all season long so far. Here's the 0-1 pitch now to Stilson, and he swings and fouls that one off, 0-2. Six the score. The Spartans coming all the way back from down 4-1, down 5-1 at one point, down 4-0, I should say, 5-1. Spartans trying to take the lead for the first time today, the 0-2. And Stilson sits on the curveball, but stays a bit out in front of it and fouls it off. Well, again, there are pluses and minuses to doing these bullpen games. And one of the advantages is that you throw a different pitcher every inning at a team. That is hard to adjust to as a hitter. The 0-2 on the way. Down and away, 1-2. But again, the negative is that one of those guys that you're throwing out there in a bullpen game has a little bit of an off day, and that could tank a game for you. Now, Hayes isn't quite there yet. He's given up the runs, but can get out of this inning, keep it tied, but he's got some work to do here. The 1-2. Down and away, 2-2. Stilson hit 8 home runs last season, stepping into a bigger role with the team this year, both on the mound and at the plate. He's become one of the leaders of this team as a junior, especially with the departure of a large class of seniors and graduate students last year. The pitch, runners go, swung on, hit in the air, deep towards left field. Back at the wall, and it is gone! Home run, Tyler Stilson, and it gives the Spartans a 9-6 lead. First home run of the season for Stilson. It was 102 off the bat, hit about 380 feet to left center. And Case Western Reserve grabs a 3-run lead. So the Spartans coming roaring back in this one, and that might mark the end of the day for Davis Hayes, who gives up a 2-strike bomb to Tyler Stilson. And we will indeed get a pitching change. So the Spartans with the lead, 5 runs across here in the 6th, still just 1 out. Trout due up, new pitcher for Oberlin when we come back. Well, 5 runs across for the Spartans is we continue with 1 out here in the 6th. 5 runs across in the inning, and now Trout will be the batter after the home run by Stilson. Trout having himself a nice day, 2 for 3 so far, and takes a called for a strike from the new pitcher on the mound. That'll be number 17, Cheeto Bow. Bow making his 2nd appearance of the year. Misses off the outside corner to Trout, and it's 1-1. Went a third of an inning in his first appearance, gave up 2 runs, 1 earned on 3 hits with a strikeout. Fouled off by Trout, and it's 1-2. Bow, the first year out of Los Angeles, California, Crespi Carmelite High School. That ball hit in the air deep down the line and right, but playable towards the line, coming over and making the catch as the right fielder Groves for the 2nd out of the inning. So Trout retired, and now that'll bring up Tucker Greer to the plate. Greer has been on base all 3 times, reached on an error in the first, a 2-run single in the 3rd, and then drew a walk his last time up. Crespi Carmelite sounds like a flavor of Girl Scout cookie more so than a high school. But is Joe still in the press box here? Joe Jordan is a California guy. He'd probably know all about Crespi Carmelite High School. Greer at the plate, 0-1 the count. That ball grounded foul down the third base line, and it's 0-2 on Greer. Greer's now hitting at 400 on the season, and again, the Spartans are flush with young talent right now. They really have a good young team. Albeit you're seeing some of the growing pains going from a team that had so many seniors, so many graduate students. As a swing and a miss there, to all of a sudden being a very young team. But so far, so good for the Spartans, who score 5 in the 6th after a 3-run homer by Tyler Stilson. 5 runs on 2 hits in the frame, and we'll move along into the 7th. The Spartans leading for the first time. It's now 9-6. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 for Oberlin. Lebrec, Devopolin, and Crable due up when we return. Welcome back once again. Some breaking news fresh off the wire here. Tyler Stilson named the honorable mention Division III pitcher of the month of February by the National Baseball Collegiate Writers Association. So Stilson of home run fame of just a few minutes ago. By the way, the guy's also thrown 15 innings this year and 14 innings, I guess, and struck out 21 batters, is yet to allow an earned run. So got to keep an eye on that Stilson kid. He's pretty good. Boy, there are just some athletes that you watch, and Tyler is maturing into quite the baseball player. So, again, Stilson named the Division III Pitcher of the Week. In the meantime, the Spartans will turn to Anton Sabo on the mound as he'll try to protect what is now a 3-run lead for the Spartans after some really good pitching by Jeff Radinsky. First pitch fastball misses up high to Lebrec, and it's 1-0. Sabo, 6'4", 220-pound left-handed pitcher out of Falcon Heights, Minnesota, Roseville Area High School, an economics major. That one catches the inside 85-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. And Lebrec behind, or even in the count, 1-1. Sabo making his 3rd appearance of the year. He's allowed a hit in an inning and a third so far. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. That ball in the air hit hard towards the gap in right center, but over is Trout, and he makes the catch for the out. Boy, between Trout in right and Harris in center, those are 2 guys who could really go get the baseball. So I'll bring up Daniel Devopolin, whose name I've been butchering throughout the day today, so I apologize to his family, of which I will not name currently, so I save myself further embarrassment of continuing to butcher his name, despite my best efforts, I promise. Swing and a miss for the Oberlin left fielder, who's hitting at .263 on the season. Swing and a miss, and the count goes to 0-2. Devopolin falls behind in the count. 9-6, Spartans leading. Sabo looking for the out. Breaking ball down low, 1-2. That is changing the eye level a little bit there if you're Sabo, I have to imagine. Got two not great swings on inside fastballs. You probably try to throw that breaking ball there and then come back with a fastball on the inner part of the plate. Let's see. 1-2. Oh, breaking ball again. That one's fouled back. Count stays at 1-2 on Oberlin. Yeah, I tell you, Oberlin does a great job of getting those pronunciations on their website, right on the roster page. Swing and a miss, strike three, 87-mile-an-hour fastball. And Sabo has the strikeout, and there are two gone now. For Spartan pitching, now going back to the final out of the fourth, the Spartans have now sat down 9 straight Oberlin hitters. And the fastball there from Sabo taken for a called strike by Craybill, and it's 0-1. Craybill now hitting at .222 on the year. 1 for 3 with an RBI single today. Here's the 0-1. Line drive and through for a base hit. So Craybill with a single into center field. And Oberlin now with a man on, 2 away here in the 7th. And the catcher, Anton Shelton, will shed the equipment here after leaving the on-deck circle with 2 outs. And it actually looks like we may get a pinch hitter here. Indeed, we will. So this will be Ari Siegel coming in. So Siegel will pinch hit. Siegel hitting a .214 on the season. 2 for 14 on the year with 3 for 14 with 2 doubles among his hits. Swings and misses at the first pitch fastball, and it's 0-1. Siegel out of Westerville, Ohio, down in the Columbus area. Swings and misses again, and it's 0-2. Oh, and 2 the count, 2 away. Sabo looking for a scoreless 7th. And he's got it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 87-mile-an-hour fastball that Siegel couldn't catch up to, and Sabo works around a 2-out hit to work a scoreless 7th. We'll move to the bottom of the inning. Spartans leading 9-6 when we return. Calvin Gelly will be the hitter for the Spartans. Gelly, Harris, and Poole due up this inning as Bow begins his first full inning of work. In a 3-run game, it's now 9-6, Spartans leading. Gelly takes the first pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. And that one's up high as well, so 2-0 now the count. Gelly looking for his first hit of the day. A line out to center. It reached on an error and grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. Outside corner for a called strike. Three and one. That one missed outside. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Down low, ball 4, and Gelly works out the walk. So leadoff man on for the Spartans. That'll bring Josiah Harris to the plate. Harris got the Spartans rally started last inning when Case went on to score 5 runs in the frame. Harris led the inning off with a walk and then stole second base. Harris squaring a bunt here, pulls it back, takes ball 1. The runner was way off the bag, but just getting that hand back on the backside of the base was Gelly, and he's got to be careful out there. Now the 1-0. Another one in the dirt, 2-0. Bow came in relief last inning. Walked one batter, got a strikeout, but was able to work through the 6th inning after the Spartans scored 5 against Davis Hayes. Now Bow trying to keep it at a 3-run game, but about to throw a 3-0 pitch. And Harris takes it for a called strike, 3-1. Here's the pitch. And foul back, full count, 3-2. Throw down to first, not in time. Gelly a little bit more on his toes there. Full count, 3-2. You could expect Gelly to probably be in motion here. The 3-2 count, nobody out. Nice lead at first. Bow to the plate. Gelly goes. The pitch taken, ball 4. And so back-to-back walks to begin the 7th.
Now batting, number 9, Colin Poole.
So I'll bring Colin Poole to the plate. After back-to-back walks to start the frame, and now Poole will look to keep it going here. Rough day for Poole, 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a strikeout swinging. But could help the Spartans expand their lead here. And I think the Spartans will send in a pinch runner here. Indeed, they will. That'll be Elijah Sledge who comes in to run for Gelly at second. So Gelly's day is done. I would imagine the Spartans will do some combination of keeping Sledge in the game to play left maybe and doing a double switch. Potentially maybe a Jackson Knutson in the game. You can move O'Connor over to second if you want. Knutson could play third. We'll see what they do here. Options for the Spartans. You could just do a straight switch too if you wanted, but Sledge the probably better defensive option out and left. That pitch taken low by Poole, and it's 1-0. So Bow, who has walked the first two batters of the inning, in some trouble here now in the bottom of the seventh. This is an official game now, so if we hit darkness here at some point, which is certainly a possibility, the pace at which this game has been played so far, if we do get to a point where there's darkness, I would imagine that they would just call the game at that point, and the team leading would be the winning team. I don't think they would come back another day and finish this one up. Not sure anyone would have the appetite for that, especially if the Spartans are able to expand the lead a little bit here. That one bunted nicely by Poole, down towards third, fielded by Bow, no throw to first. And that'll be an infield bunt single. I thought Bow might have had a play at first base if he threw it. Not to take anything away from the bunt from Poole, but that will load the bases up. It's the ninth hit of the game for the Spartans. 3 straight runners to reach here to begin the seventh. And the batter now will be Cole White, who will hit here with the bases loaded and nobody out. And White could really expand the Spartans' lead here with a base hit. That one misses inside. 1-0 to White, who's hitting at .435 on the season. I believe this is going to be his first collegiate at bat with the bases loaded. Indeed it is. Outside, 2-0 with no place to put White. Good speed on the base pass with Sledge at third, Harris at second, Poole at first. 2-0 the count on White, the first-year left fielder at the plate. Here's the 2-0. Down and out, 3-0. And Bow is in a world of trouble right now and looking for the escape hatch here. Here's the 3-0 offering. And swinging 3-0 is White. And he fouls it off 3-1. Boy, I'll tell you, and I love the aggressiveness here by the Spartans. But maybe a bit too aggressive, especially for some of the young hitters, 3-0. We've seen a couple guys take cuts today, 3-0. That one misses up and in, though, ball 4. And that will allow the runner to score. So a bases loaded walk, third walk of the inning by Bow. For White, it's the first RBI of his collegiate career. And it's now 10-6. And the Spartans a chance to add on further here with Arterburn at the plate. Arterburn has walked twice and scored 2 runs today. He's 0 for 1. Swings and grounds that one. First base side, fielded by Bax, who steps on the bag, throws home, and coming in standing is Harris, and he's safe. So the runner out at first, Arterburn. Boy, Harris did not slide on that one. I guess if you're running through the bag, you're assuming there's a force play at the plate, so you're running hard through it, but probably would prefer the slide there. Either way, the run scores. An RBI for Arterburn. It's now 11-6. Spartans leading. And that's O'Connor, who first pitch swinging drives one to deep right field over the head of the right fielder. Two will score as O'Connor drives in both White and Poole. He's going to dig for third. The throw is offline, bounces off the dugout, but a fortunate bounce for Oberlin as it comes back into the field of play, preventing the Little League home run there for O'Connor. But it will be a two-run triple, and the Spartans now leading 13-6. Two more RBIs for O'Connor, who has 4 in his last 2 at-bats and 12 on the season out of the leadoff spot for the Spartans. It's his second triple of the year, and now Tyler Stilson can put an exclamation point on this one, hitting with 1 out, a runner at third. Infield pulled in a 7-run game. Stilson, who has hits in each of his last 3 at-bats, including a 3-run home run, his first of the season. The first out-of-the-park home run this season by a Spartan. That was his last time up, and gave the Spartans their first lead of the game. Up high with that, and it's 2-0 now on Stilson. Boy, pulling the infield in here against Stilson is so dangerous, and Bow isn't going to get a chance to finish this at-bat off, as Oberlin will go to the bullpen. We'll come back 13-6. Spartans taking control of this one when we return. New pitcher on the mound is Micah Rodriguez. Now, he comes into the game with a 2-0 count on Stilson, so a walk here would still count against Bow. Anything else goes against Rodriguez. The new pitcher, junior out of Simi Valley, California, Thousand Oaks High School, excuse me. Stilson at the plate, infield still pulled in with a runner at third, and now the count goes to 3-0. Rodriguez making his third appearance of the year. He's got 1 save, no record of 4.50 ERA. He's thrown 4 innings, giving up 2 runs on 2 hits, a walk, 4 strikeouts this year. Stilson taking all the way there, takes a called strike. It's 3-1. So again, the rule is in this situation that anything other than a walk would count for Rodriguez. A walk would go against Bau's record. And there it is. So that does go against Bau. That will be a base runner on Bau's account. And now officially into the game is Rodriguez. So it'll be first and third. And we'll get a pinch hitter here. And this is going to be Eli Westrick coming into the game for Trout. So interesting to see Westrick checking into the game. We have not seen Westrick since the opening weekend of the season. Suffered an injury during that third game, but back in here and will pinch hit for Trout. We'll see if he stays in the game and plays defense. Westrick at the plate, hitting a 111 on the year. Limited appearances for the former All-American from Worcester, as that's a called strike. Westrick played as an undergraduate student at Worcester, took a year off last year, came back this season, is playing for the Spartans, started the first 2 games at first base, was also a designated hitter in one of the games. Hits that hard and fair down the third base line, and that will drive in another run. Extra bases for Westrick. Coming in to score is O'Connor. Also coming around and in to score is Stilson. Westrick thinks about third, but will stop at second with a 2 RBI double. And the Spartans now lead 15-6. 6 runs across this inning, 11 in the last 2 for the Spartans. And we will get a pinch runner here at second as Jackson Knutson will come into the game. The Spartans now sending their 9th batter to the plate this inning, as Greer will be the batter. So it appears we'll get some combination of White, Sledge, and Harris in the outfield. I would imagine Knutson at either second or third, and then O'Connor at either second or third. We'll see what happens here when we get to the bottom of the inning. Batter at the plate is Greer, who's hitting at .375 on the season. And hits that in the air. And it drops in for a base hit. Going to third on the play is Knutson. Still just 1 out in the inning.
Now batting, number 37,
And Elijah Sledge will be the batter after pinch running for Calvin Gelly, who began this inning with a walk. So 15-6 the score. Spartans bats have erupted late in this game. 15 runs on 12 hits for Case Western Reserve today. Rodriguez's first pitch to Sledge is down low, ball 1. Sledge has really shown himself to be a valuable player for the Spartans. He plays good defense. He's fast on the base paths. Has swung good bat at the plate so far, too. Swing and a miss, 1-1. We will see if we are playing with the run rule here today. Should the Spartans score 1 more run? Here's the 1-1 inside, 2-1. Josiah Harris out on deck with Sledge at the plate. Men on the corners, it's Knutson at third, Greer at first. All freshmen right now for the Spartans, all around the base paths here and at the plate. 2-1. Down low, 3-1. A walk here would load him up for Harris. Line drive, base hit left field. RBI single for Sledge, and it's now 16-6. Greer moves up 90 feet. Knutson in to score. Game will continue here, as I assume we are not playing with the run rule. We'll get another pinch runner here, it looks like, as well, as Greer's day will be done. And Carson Matula will be the pinch runner for Greer. This will be the 11th batter of the inning for the Spartans. Harris walked and scored a run earlier in the frame and takes ball one from Rodriguez, 1-0. So the Spartans leading by 10. Big day at the plate today for Case Western Reserve, albeit one that started slow. Swing and a miss there for Harris, who took a big cut at that one. Spartans were down 4-0. They trailed after half an inning. They trailed 5-1 after 2 innings. They scored 3 in the bottom of the third to make it a 1-run game, 5-4. Then Oberlin added one back in the fourth, as check swing there for Harris makes it a 2-1 count. He'll check out in the field, but he held. But the Spartans erupted then with 5 runs in the sixth to take a 9-6 lead, and have scored 7 so far, still just 1 out here in the 7th. Foul back, and it's 2-2. Off the fist by Harris, foul back. Count stays at 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. And on the outside corner, called strike 3, and that is a 10-run strike right there, called by the home plate umpire, as that appeared to be well off the plate. So 2 gone now in the inning, still runners on at first and second, and the new hitter will be Carson Walker, I believe. Indeed it will be. So Walker will pinch it here for Poole. So Coach Englander going to the bench here. Walker 1 for 1 this year. And swings at the first pitch, fouls it off, 0-1. Walker likely will stay in the game and catch. Two outs. 7 runs across in the inning for the Spartans, who lead by 10, 16-6. The 0-1. Swing and a miss again by Walker, and it's 0-2. Big cut there for Carson, the junior. Carson out of San Diego, California, La Jolla Country Day. Here's the 0-2. Misses up high, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Rodriguez delivers. 2-2. That one stayed up high. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So that ends the inning, but 7 runs cross the plate for the Spartans on 5 hits, and Case Western Reserve has jumped out to a 16-6 lead, blowing this game wide open in the 7th. We'll come back 8th inning when we return. Changes all around for the Spartans, who have jumped out to a 16-6 lead. Carson Matula will stay in the game and play second base. Jackson Knutson stays in the game to play first. We've got Elijah Sledge staying in the game to play left. Carson Walker staying in the game to catch. Cole White moves from left field to right field, and taking over on the mound will be the sophomore righty Cody Hughes, who can really turn up the velocity, but sometimes control can be an issue. Hughes is making his 3rd appearance of the year. He's gone an inning and 2/3 and has allowed just 1 hit, but has given up 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 3 walks with 1 strikeout. He's hit a batter as well. And so, again, for Hughes, the key for him is just making sure he is around the strike zone. When he can control his pitches, he is tough to hit. I imagine we're going to get some changes here as well for Oberlin throughout this inning, as Santiago Serrano appears to be the next man up. So Serrano will be the new batter. Serrano hitting a .273 on the season. He's 3 for 11 with 2 doubles and an RBI. Serrano wears number 41, a right-handed hitter of El Paso, Texas. Takes ball 1, 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch. Up high, 2-0. Kyle Takahashi has come out on deck. So, again, I think we'll see a lot of changes here for Oberlin. Nice fastball there. 88 miles an hour from Hughes for a called strike to Serrano, 2-1. We'll see how much more baseball these teams get in today. It's going to be tricky to get much further as that's taken out high. It's going to be hard, although, again, you know, with the Spartans now up 10, in theory, they could get through the game a little bit quicker with assuming you don't have to play the bottom of the 9th. Fastball outside corner, full count, 3-2 on Serrano. Nice pitch there for Hughes at an easy 88 from him. He's got velocity. That's never the question for Cody. And again, tough pitcher to hit. He's just got to locate his pitches. 3-2 on the way. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike 3. Now, that's a similar pitch to what Harris got called out on in the bottom of the 7th. And again, that strike zone may be expanding a little bit here with the score a little bit more lopsided. Another pinch hitter coming in here, so this will be Kyle Takahashi taking over for Yu-Fu Chen. Takahashi, I believe, getting his first at bat of the season and of his career. A first year out of Los Gatos, California, Trinity Pauling School. Takes a called first pitch strike, 0-1. 90 there from Hughes. Up high, 1-1. One and one count, one away, bases empty. Top of the eighth inning, Spartans leading 16-6. Breaking ball, nice pitch there from Hughes. Slider catches that lower outside corner. If you're pairing that with a fastball you can locate, boy, oh boy, that's a tough combination to hit. Swung on, foul back. 89 just above the strike zone, and Takahashi just got a piece of it. So Takahashi making his collegiate debut, and all he's got to do is face 90 off the mound. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball stays up high, 2-2. Breaking ball that just missed inside. And again, that has been that inside portion of the plate to righties. That strike or that pitch has not been called a strike today. We've seen, again, a little bit more latitude on the outside portion of the plate instead to pitchers. So full count, 3-2, one away. The pitch from Hughes. Fastball fouled back. Hughes has had pretty good command of that breaking ball so far in this one. Here's the 3-2. Up high, ball 4. So Takahashi draws the walk. And back to the top of the order, Leonard due up, and he will hit for himself here. Leonard 0 for 1, drew 3 walks, scored 2 runs, popped out to third base his last time up. Last time Leonard hit was the top of the 6th inning, and Oberlin was leading 6-4 at that point, and that seems like a lifetime ago at this point. It's now 16-6. That one's popped up. Shallow left. Could be trouble. Long run in for Sledge, and he makes the catch in fair territory. That's why you bring Sledge into the game. And he has a good job coming a long way to get to that ball, especially with a left-handed hitter up. He had to come way over to get it. So now there are 2 gone. So 2 outs, runner at first. Groves the hitter, the right fielder. Actually, we'll get a pinch hitter here. First pitch on the way, misses up high, ball 1. To JT Schussel. Schussel getting his first at bat of the season. The junior out of Dublin, Ohio. Fouls off the 1-0, and it's 1-1. One and one the count, 2 away, runner at first. Schussel the batter. Down low, didn't miss by much there, and it's 2-1. Throw down to first, not in time. Game is crossed over into the 3-hour mark, as you would expect for a 16-6 affair with a lot of pitchers, let's just say. Let's see, how many have we had so far? The Spartans so far in this one have thrown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oberlin with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 13 total pitchers in this game between the two teams. And Schussel's hit by the pitch. So first and second, 2 away. And we will get another pinch hitter here. This will be Max Bernstein, who will hit for Baxt. So both teams clearing their benches now. Bernstein, 2 at-bats this year. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 2 on for him. Runners at first and second. And the fastball stays up high, 1-0. Again, Hughes' velocity dipping a little now, and we've seen that with him at times where once he gets to that 20-pitch mark, he goes from being in the upper 80s to the lower 80s. There, the slider didn't miss by much, called strike 1-1. Boy, if Hughes can put the pieces together, he has got all the potential in the world to be a top-flight reliever. Down and out, 2-1. You know, some guys could step right in. They figure it out. They might have called that one of the pitches a ball there. It might be 3-0 here. Let's see. Called strike. Let's see. It is 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Outside corner, called strike, 3-2, full count. So 3-2, 2 away. Runners will get the early start from first and second with 2 gone. Bernstein at the plate awaiting the 3-2. Bernstein, the sophomore out of Cheshire, Connecticut, fouls that one off. Count remains at 3-2. Three and two away. Runners will start early again. Here's the pitch. Runners go. Fastball on the outside corner. Or called strike 3. Well, again, the latitude on that outer portion of the plate has benefited both teams at times today, and I think there's going to be some conversation about whether or not this game should continue. The umpires will talk it over here. We'll come right back in just a minute. And everyone is shaking hands, and that will officially be the end of the game. So the Spartans win a slightly light shortened game here, coming away with the 16-6 win over Oberlin. Oberlin falls to 3-3-1 on the year with the loss. The Spartans improve to 5-2 with the win, and they'll head into South Carolina 3 games above 500. Jeff Radinsky gets the win. He's 1-0 on the year. No save in this one. Losing pitcher today is Hayes. He drops to 0-1. Today's game lasted 3 hours and 6 minutes. Attendance at the ballpark was 57. Want to thank everyone for joining us once again. We will see you down in South Carolina as Case Western Reserve will head down there starting on Saturday for the Spartan Southern Classic. A doubleheader against Swarthmore to start things off. Want to thank you all for joining us once again. Final score here, 16-6, the Spartans with the win.